In this video, I'm gonna make this clip go from this to this. And I know that it looks hard to add visual effects like this, but I can promise you that it's actually super easy to do. This video is sponsored by MSI, and I'm using the MSI Creator Z16P laptop in this tutorial, and it's the most powerful laptop that I've ever used. I'm super pumped for this tutorial, and I really hope that I can inspire you guys to take your footage to the next level. And by the way, I created a Dropbox link with most of the assets and the footage that I'm using so that you can follow the tutorial as I'm doing it. Link is in the description. Okay, so this is what the original clip looks like. I shot this in a garage, and as you can see, there's like trash laying around. There's a fan here and the garage door here. And these objects are actually very easy to remove. All you gotta do is to select the clone stamp tool and just start painting things out, just like you would remove objects in Photoshop. But to save time, I've already done this. So here's what the final clip looks like when all of the objects are removed. And I know what you're thinking, this clip does not look like much, but trust me, it has a lot of potential. The first thing we're gonna do is to create a new camera. Go to Layer, New, and hit Camera. Make sure that it's a 50mm and press OK. We're gonna make our layer 3D by checking this box. Then I'm gonna go up to the asset folder and drag in the wall PNG on top of our footage and make the layer 3D. I'm gonna select the camera layer and go all the way to the beginning of the timeline. I'm gonna hit P to bring up position and create a new keyframe. Then I'm gonna go all the way to the end of the timeline and start bringing the camera closer to the window, just like this. And now if we play this back, we're gonna see that it looks like garbage. I mean, it almost looks like this is a TV. And the reason for that is that there's no parallax here. There is no revealing of the room, which we should be able to see when the camera is tracking towards the window. So to create that illusion, we're gonna select our footage layer, hit P, and start pushing it back, just like this. I'm actually gonna push it all the way to 2500. And now, if we play this back, you'll see that it looks so much better. Now we can see that the room is starting to reveal itself, which is what would happen if we actually shot this on a dolly track, which is both cool and realistic looking. And now with the animation out of the way, we can start adding some cool details. And I'm gonna start by adding in a poster on this wall, and it's actually very easy to do that. All you gotta do is to select the footage layer and duplicating it by hitting Ctrl D. Then I'm gonna select this poster, I'm gonna hold down Alt and drag it on top of our footage. And what I just did is that I replaced the footage with the poster, so that the poster is also stuck to the camera movement. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, it's starting to look decent. I actually like having the poster on the side here, because I think it really helps selling the parallax effect. Yeah, I think it makes the camera movement more convincing. I think it looks like we're almost coming into this room. The next thing I'm gonna add is some sort of foreground. And I found these security guards on Shutterstock that were shot on green screen that I just keyed out myself. I'm gonna drag that in, and if I play this back, you'll see that it does not stick to the motion of the camera. And to fix that, we're gonna make it 3D. And now if we play back, you'll see that it's stuck to the wall, basically. And I don't want it to be stuck to the wall. So I'm gonna hit P and just start dragging it towards the camera, just like this. And just move it a little further down, somewhere around here. Let's play it back. Okay, nice. I'm just gonna move him a little bit more to the left so you see more of the poster, like that. Dope. And I actually want the guard to react as I come into the room. So I'm just gonna trim this clip a little bit by moving it to the left so that he kind of looks to the left as I come in. Something like this, maybe? Yeah. Whoop. He drops out of the frame here, so I have to move him closer to the camera just to make sure that he moves out of the frame before the clip ends. Let's play it back. Nice. I really like the way he looks at me. Makes everything come together. Okay, nice. Let's add in the second guard. Oops. The second guard, just place him on top. And I'm gonna do the same thing, making the layer 3D and just dragging him towards the camera. I want this guard closer to the window so that we have more parallax between the guards. It just looks more complex and advanced that way. Let's have a final look. yeah, I'm super happy with how this looks. The only thing that bothers me is the color on the guards. I think they're a little too blue, so I'm gonna fix that with curves. I'm probably just gonna make them a little bit darker as well. So I'm gonna select a layer and put on the curves effects, just like that, and just start adjusting, just making him a little bit darker, just like this. I mean, curves are so, like, it's so hard to explain how I use curves. It's just like, it's this feel thing that I just do, and yeah, I love curves. I guess something like this work. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy this over to the second guard, just like this. This looks a whole lot better already. I think, yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing to the background, so I'm gonna drop on the curve effects there as well, and just start dragging it down. Something like this, like that. I'm actually gonna make this, the guard in front here, just even darker, almost like a silhouette thing. Just makes it more realistic, and also it hides the green screen flaws. Something like this, maybe. Same with this one. Just a little bit darker. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's see what it looks like. I think this looks a lot better. Having the scene darker makes it so much more cinematic. The only thing I'm considering right now is adding some light to the guards, like having light from the room that I'm standing in interacting with like them, their faces and stuff. So I'm gonna duplicate the guard layer and just bring up the curves again, just like this. And then I'm gonna make a mask and just mask around the face of the guard and his gun, just like this. And I'm just gonna hit F and bring up the fade, and this looks super cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can turn the layer off and on. As you can see, there's like a huge difference. I'm actually gonna make him a little bit darker as well, just to sell the effect even more. Something like this, maybe. Yeah. I'm gonna make him brighter as well. Okay. I mean, just look at the difference. Just, this is with light and without light. It's just crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other guard by duplicating the layer and just dragging up the curves, just like this. Nice. And then I'm just gonna make a quick little mask around his face and gun as well, just like this, and just bring up the fade, and let's play it back. Yeah, this looks so much better. I mean, the lighting is so much more on point right now. I could have played around with this for hours, but the next thing I'm gonna add is some glass. And to do that, I'm gonna duplicate the wall layer, just like that, and replace that with this glass PNG file. Hold down Alt and drop it on. I'm gonna put it underneath the wall layer. And now we have glass that is stuck to the window. I'm gonna scale it down a bit. And since the background is black, I'm gonna set the blending mode to screen. Just like that, and let's play it back. And as you can see, just having the glass layer there makes this whole scene look so much better. I'm gonna be even more fancier and duplicate the glass layer and add a second layer of glass by doing this. And as you can see, this layer has a lot more edge to it. As you can see here, looks pretty cool. And just adds more detail basically to the glass. Let's play it back. Okay, so now we have a pretty basic camera movement. What I want to do is to actually add some more wiggle to this camera to make it look like it was maybe shot handheld, just to add some more complexity to the shot. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hit transform here and basically hit Alt, type in wiggle, and then hit, I don't know, maybe 1.40. Let's see. That works, for sure. I'm I'm also going to go to the very start of the frame and just scale in a little bit, because the wiggle actually reveals some of the edges here. So I'm going to just zoom in a tiny bit. And if you want to be even more fancier, we can select, make a keyframe for the point of interest, and just drag that over here and actually pan the camera a little bit. So now we go from this guard and to this shot here. And to make the movement even smoother, you can select this keyframe, assistant, and ECs. Let's play back. Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, time to get even more fancier. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go for this light turning on effect. I'm gonna take this adjustment layer and drag it over the poster. And what is happening now is that whenever I add curves, I only add it inside this room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look like the light is turning on. So basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start grading this like as it was night, almost like as it was dark. Guessing something like this. Just remove the reds here and add some blue, just to sell that the room is, you know, dark. Okay, I'm guessing something like this. I want this clip to start like this, and then as the camera pans on, I want the light to turn on. So I'm basically just going to fade out this adjustment layer. Just make a keyframe for the opacity and just fade it all down like this. Maybe a little bit quicker actually. Nice. I can even add like some sort of just mess up with the opacity here, so that it looks like the light is, you know, almost flickering. Let's see what that looks like. Nice. Okay, and to sell this effect even more, I'm gonna play around with the light that we added to the guards earlier in the tutorial. So I'm gonna find that layer and I'm gonna hit T, and I'm gonna turn it off before the effect actually starts. So the guards also get light on them. Yeah. I'm gonna do the same to this guard as well. Hit T, opacity. Just go like this. Nice. As a final little touch, I'm going to add focus, this focus shift. And to do that, I'm going to create another adjustment layer. Go to layer, new adjustment layer, just like that. Type in camera lens blur and put that to 10. And then I'm going to put this guard on top of my comp. Just like that, and the adjustment layer underneath him. So now everything except for the guard is in focus, as you can see here. Yeah, but this is way too much, so I'm gonna probably do 10 or 13. Actually, I'm gonna do 10 like that. Then I'm gonna move forward a little bit and then just start adding a keyframe, just like that, and just fade that keyframe out down to 0. Around there. Dope. And to make it, you know, even more advanced, we can add some focus shift to the guard as well, since he's getting so close to the camera. So I'm guessing that he's getting out of focus around here. So I'm gonna add a camera lens blur effect to him as well. Put that to 0, just like that. Create a keyframe. Move forward to around 5. Actually, we're gonna do it all the way to around 6 seconds. And just turn up the blur, maybe to around 6, 7, or maybe 6. And then we're just gonna copy those keyframes to the shadow part of the guard, because we have 2 layers of him, one for lights and one for shadow. So let's see what this looks like. Nice. I mean, I could have been playing around with, you know, the light shift here even more, but I'm just showing you guys how easy it is to just play around and just add things. And I promise you guys, with sound, this is going to be so cool. And yeah. So the last thing we're going to do, just to sell this even more, is to put on some chromatic aberration. So we're going to pre-compose all of the layers. Pre-compose, you can call this whatever you want. I'm just going to call this VFX shot. Just like that. Just make sure the layer is all the way like that. And then we're going to add this thing called shift channel. Put that on, just like that. And turn off all of the layers here. I'm going to duplicate the layer 2 times and set the bottom layer to green. Just like this. Then I'm going to set the middle layer to blue. Just like this. And the top layer to red. Ooh. Like that. So now we have 3 layers. The bottom one is green, middle one is blue, and top one is red. And if we set the red and the blue layer to screen, like this, you'll see that we have just the same image as before, only that when we move the red layer, we'll get this effect called chromatic aberration, as you can see. And this is obviously way too much. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just zoom in a little bit on this guard here. Chromatic aberration is something that the camera creates. Doesn't matter. I mean, you can buy lenses that doesn't have any chromatic aberration almost, but there's always some sort of chromatic aberration happening. So I'm just moving the top layer slightly. I'm just looking at the helmet there. And you can probably see it very clear in this poster as well. But just a tiny bit of that, just to sell that, you know, everything is shot with the same camera, just like that. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but I'm gonna add some grain. YouTube and grain usually doesn't mix, but I just love adding grain and just making, you know, this super dirty. So I got this grain layer. This is actually some self-made grain that I'm gonna drop later this year. Just gonna copy that over, make it an overlay, and just like that, I think we're done. I mean, there's so much more I could have done to this, but I'm pretty happy with the result. Okay, so as you can see, this only took me 17 minutes to do. Now imagine what it would look like if I actually spent a day on this. I could just keep on adding stuff and just make everything more complex and better and more advanced and make it look more expensive, basically. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please comment down below and I'll do my best to reply. Thank you so much to MSI for sponsoring this video. Working on their laptop is a dream come true. I mean, it's just amazing to do this tutorial in After Effects and still being able to screen record without any lag. It just makes my workflow so much faster and better. And yeah, you can read more about the laptop that I'm using in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.